If you like old Jeeps, Cummins diesels, and most importantly, want to see how a Dentside Ford heater core gets removed, then this is the video for you. It's Tuesday morning, and I got up to go and work out in the shop and start on the F-250, but as I was drinking my coffee, started looking through Marketplace. And you know how that goes. I ended up finding a great deal on two Ford driver's side drop NP205 transfer cases. And I'm on my way to pick them up. They're probably about an hour and a half from my house. Guy has them at his shop. So I'm gonna go grab these and get those down to the shop and then start working on the F-250. Perfect. That looks good. Yep. The guy I bought the transfer cases from probably has one of the coolest Jeeps I've ever seen. Has a Cummins 4BT, T18 transmission, twin sticks, and a overdrive on it. Winches in the back. So cool.
You want a picture of the motor?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You mind firing it up really quick again?
Sure.
So cool. Now that I've got these two transfer cases plus all the CJ drivetrains sitting all over the floor, I need to get them all on wheels. So I'm gonna get some baby dollies that I can just load each of these on and shuffle them all over the shop into nice tucked in places and keep them out of the way. So you know what that means. Yep, that's right. We're at Harbor Freight to buy like 5 little baby dollies. Okay, it's the very next morning, and while I was on Marketplace this morning, I did not chase down any of the great deals that I saw. I'm really happy with picking up my transfer cases. Both of them seem to be in excellent shape from a man who's a driveline specialist who had a ton of different transfer cases, and so I do trust that they are pretty good. One of them is ready pretty much to bolt in. It's already got the housing that bolts to the C6 and allows the NP205 to connect to it. It's even got the linkages on there. So that is the one I'm going to put in. The other NP205, I would like to possibly take the NP203 out of this and build a doubler with that 205 and then do something really cool with that eventually. Maybe go back in this truck, I don't know. Or another Dentside or a GM or whatever driver's side drop I can find. But today, we're taking the heater core out, primarily because it has the original heater core in it, and that's from the 70s. Even the inlet and outlet provisions are smashed a little bit and corroded. So leads me to believe potentially that heater core is in nasty shape too. For all I know, it's got a small leak and I can't even see it. I didn't have the truck on the road long enough to really know. Also, this heater box takes a ton of room up in the engine bay. When I pulled the engine out of this, I basically had about 1/2 inch of clearance before the passenger side valve cover hit the actual heater box. That is also because this is an AC truck and the AC evaporator core is in here, and I think there's also a high output blower motor because this package was supposed to have heat AC and a high output motor to throw more AC, and it may have a bigger heater core. I don't know. I haven't looked that much into it. I'm gonna get the box out and check all the parts and compare them with the non-AC Dentsides and really go from there. I did start taking some of the bolts out already. I went through and did a lot of that before I started recording everything. Pretty much right after I pulled the engine out. So this has been sitting in project hiatus for a long time. So you can see some of the bolt locations. We've got one right there. We've got kind of all around the perimeter. And pretty much all of these you have to access from the inside and the outside. And I'll show you the inside behind the glove box because they are corroded really, really bad. In a perfect world, you could just get in and unbolt the nuts, but most of the nuts were stuck and the bolts weren't spinning. And you can see in here, there's some holes right there. And I've also, I forgot to mention, this thing had like a whole family of rats living in it at one point in time. And if you go in here, I want to clean this whole thing out. Yeah, that's gross. Who knows what's in there? That's disgusting. My kids actually called this a rat poop truck when I first got it because I had to go through and when I did the interior, there was all kinds of nasty stuff in the carpet, and the seats are in really good shape, but you can see where rats, mice, whatever kind of rodent burrowed in there. So I pulled all that out and repaired the foam in the seats, cleaned everything as good as I could. And then there was still a gross scent coming from someplace in the HVAC. And I went through and just kind of shook around, popped some of the vent tubes off, and like stuff just fell out. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna change that out and we're gonna pull the heater core. Anyways, so I was like, I might as well go through and do it right. So this is loose right now. And I don't know, just ever so carefully start pulling this thing out. I don't think anything is connected on the inside. Now that I said that, something's probably gonna self-destruct as I pull it out. I have one stubborn bolt right there I might have to actually touch with a grinder. Probably not gonna be able to get a good camera shot of that. As you can see, a lot of the hardware and a lot of the bolts is really just kind of a maze underneath the dash. Luckily, these dashes are really open, so they are not bad to get to. So, and you can see the colony of rat stuff is falling out everywhere. Oh, and a washer, a random washer. That's cool. It's interesting. Must have been like a coffee table for the rats. All right, so it's coming out. Something's hung up a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can get a look from the inside. So this looks like it's the duct for, oh, more rat home came out. Looks like it is like the duct work for the blower coming out to the main area. Oh, I can see the heater core. That's cool. So it looks like the heater core may be accessible from the inside if you remove all the ductwork. Right, you can see it starting to peek out right in here. There's a little bit of reflective metal. There we go, that exposes a little bit more. And then you can see more stuff. I'm going to take this duct out. See what happens. So I think that I'm hung up on the inside, the ductwork coming from the blower and the AC. Maybe. I've got a lot of separation occurring closer to the outer part of the passenger side. And I got, okay, so cool. I can see where that is coming out. All right, I'm just taking a series of screwdrivers to kind of massage this thing off. I'm sure I have something I can put in place of this, but really would like the reinstallation of my heater core for all the stuff that is going to be reused to go as smooth as possible. This is off. I'm going to get a little metal jar, or no, not, excuse me, a magnetic tray. I've got a dedicated parts bin rolling around for this thing. I have one for the CJ as well. So this is off, sweet. Come on out. Are you the only thing holding on? Whoa, what's this? Some little mud gobbers. It's a whole ecosystem. And there is that a vacuum line? Yeah, cool. So this is all vacuum actuated. Ugh, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought, but then again, I had a lot of stuff come out of this. And then this little flap door, which to be honest, like, I don't know if this stuff works. So I'll probably put vacuum to it so that way I can put all new in if I need to. There is something unexpectedly satisfied about having an HVAC system that fully functions and works like it should. And this is a pretty simple setup, seems like. So I'm going to get in here and clean up all this stuff. Ugh. Maybe I'll keep the little random washer. Woo! Okay, there's a little bit more. There's a lot of stuff in there. So I undid those two little bolts that appear to be holding the ducting system into the blower portion of this massive box. And I think it's free now. Maybe free. There's a wire coming through. So I got some harness stuff I gotta feed through. That's kind of free. I don't want to force anything like I am right now. Okay, yeah, cool. So I got some wiring to come off. I don't know, see if I can get a better angle for you guys. There is wiring right here. And I also need to fish the, oh, those all come undone too from there. Cool. So this thing, I think, is about to come out. And we can see what we're working with and clean up all this area. This is cool. I'm pretty pumped. And in an effort to get good lighting on the inside for you guys, I'm totally blinding myself. I need to pop those with a screwdriver. Remember what I said about proceeding with caution whenever messing with the plastic on these old vehicles? I have several little clips that have to come off, and that is the one thing on this truck, and honestly any 30-year-old plus vehicle, they all break. So I'm like 50-50, broken, not broken, with pigtails with this truck. But you can get replacements. Oh, I had that one. I heard it pop. Come on, buddy. It's probably got crud in there. All right, I'm gonna get a bigger screwdriver. I'm pretty pumped to see what's going on inside this box. And I had another 79 F-250. I don't think I mentioned that in the first video, that I never had a chance to do anything with. It was a gift because I helped a friend out who had one of the largest diesel service center and wrecker centers in Atlanta. And he had a 79 F-250 just hanging out in the field. And if I remember right, it had a big old plate. It had a huge plate like right where this box is. So I'm starting to get a little positive and optimistic that I can just buy the parts for a regular non-AC Dentside and slap them all in here. In a perfect world, that would be awesome. If there's anyone watching who's a Dentside guru, let me know. Anything I do with this truck, if you are an absolute Dentside guru, like, please comment, because this is really my first in-depth Dentside project. And I would love to know more. I'd love to know what I'm doing wrong with it, what I'm doing right. Really good things that maybe work for you. Especially if you're familiar with the modified motors, because this is my first modified rebuild. I've torn one down. I mean, they seem pretty similar. I had a 351 Windsor and a Bronco, and you can see like some of the, maybe I will call them design principles. They're the same, but there's some familiar locations and bolts and things on there that, even though they're totally different motors, I feel like they've got some commonalities. Could be just me being positive while working on it. And yes, got that. Okay, this, lovely. That's probably gonna break. We can undo it there. Come on, little pigtail. Stay together. No, that's not good. Okay, got that. Oh man, that's not even part of the, well, that's undone. Whatever. Okay. Woo! We are out. Kinda. Yes? Maybe? Oh, I can't wait to get these factory AC hoses out of the way. I've zip tied these factory AC hoses in multiple spots through the course of ownership. There's the trans dipstick. There's more. It's like stuff living on this. Okay, AC. All right, I'm gonna see if I can, wow, this thing's actually pretty heavy. Okay, that's undone. Cool. What the heck is in this? Probably filled with coolant still, because I don't think that there's the low point and the high point is right up where the heater hoses go. Okay, we're out. This is the close-up of the, I don't know, the beginning of the blend door that sucks the fresh air out and also recirculates. Here's a little vacuum actuator right here. And you can see this is like where the rat chewed a little bit of it up. But overall, I think it's in pretty good shape. I don't know if that works. We'll play with it. I might also just see how much those little vacuum actuators are. If they don't work, and just swap them all out. That would be pretty cool. Got a little part number. It's Ford original. You can see right there. And then here is the heater box / AC evap cord box. You can see the dirty AC evap cord right there. And then, yep, there's the feed tubes for it. Pretty cool. Just to give you guys a better reference of how big this thing is, and there is coolant in it. I dripped it all over my boot when I picked it up the first time. It's huge. But you know what? It came out really good. So worst case scenario, I can reuse that. I can clean it up, put some new gaskets and seals. There's a bunch of different foam parts that I think just provide insulation between the evap core and the heater core that are totally chewed up by whatever rat was living in the truck, and reuse it if I have to. But the plan is to figure out how to just make something with a smaller form factor that works on a Dentside that didn't come with AC work in this truck. And I'm hoping that it would be shocked if these had different cutouts in the firewalls based on how modular the rest of the truck is with all the rest of the Dentside trucks. So I'm hoping that I can just go buy all the original Dentside non-AC heater core, firewall, plate, all the provisions, the blower motor, all the stuff, and make it work, and then put my engine in. Because while I'm standing in the middle of the frame rails where the engine would be, this truck is not that far from being done. I know that sounds ridiculous. My friends laughed at me. My wife laughed at me when she's like, "How's the truck coming?" I was like, it's getting pretty close. It's almost there. And then she came out in the shop. She's like, "There's two engines. One's in pieces, one's broken, and the whole front's off. And it looks like nothing changed other than you move some of the stuff away from it." And I was like, everything's changed. I moved it. I don't know, whatever. But I'm going to get this thing done fast because there's some cool stuff coming up that I want to take this to. And now that I've got the NP205 transfer case situation done, because this NP203 is a dog behind this thing, I'm pumped. I've refound my joy for this truck and its place in my fleet. So I'm going to get to cleaning up. I'm going to get inside this box and start looking some part numbers up and doing some research and figuring out. And then I should have a good solution, and also I'll get some good footage of the makeup of this box and everything in here in case you do have a Dentside with an AC, factory AC, and you want to know more about it. That's here. So I'm going to get in here and clean everything up and yeah, get to working on the next phase of this project and get this thing moving. I'll see you next time.